Today we will continue with the writing skills that we had started yesterday, that is writing a job application. So as I had discussed with you all, that what are the things that you need to remember while writing a job application? Yes, that is a job application. It is in response to an advertisement that you have seen for a vacancy. And when we write the job application, there are two parts for that you need to remember. Okay. So what are they? One is, as I said, is your covering letter, right? And second is your biodata. So these things you need to remember, okay? And now, just to write the question, please, I'm not sharing the screen with you all. Just note down the question and then we'll write one example for it. Write down, please. Write down the question. You are Anandi or Aarti of 14 Model Town, Delhi. You are Anandi or Anand or Aarti of 14 Model Town, Delhi. You saw an advertisement. You saw an advertisement in the Times of India for the post of chief chef in a reputed 5-star hotel. Write a job application. Write a job application applying for the above post. So did you get the question? Right, I'll keep on repeating it as we write it. Now, as I told you, when I write a job application, there are two parts. And if both these parts are not there, you're not going to get marks. Okay, so it is incomplete, right? And here it is, yeah. So first is your covering letter, then comes your biodata. Okay, right? Now, what is the covering letter? Covering letter is your formal letter, and the format is that of a formal letter. So you have your sender's address, you will write the date, you will write the receiver, write down the subject. What is the subject? Yes. Subject is applying for the post of chief chef. Okay, right? Or application for the post of whatever has been advertised. Okay, right? Then you write your salutation. Now see here in the question, if it is mentioned that apply to the director, apply to the chairman, Mr. such and such. So if any name is given, if you know whom you're writing to, then write that. Okay, right? So Mr. or Mrs., whomever it is mentioned that you have to apply to, right? Otherwise, yes, your sir, madam, it is perfectly appropriate. So you can write down sir/madam. Okay. Now, what is it that you have to remember? Yes, your first line would be naturally your introduction, your purpose of writing the letter. Now, here it is a little different. What is going to be the first line? It is, where did you see the advertisement? And yes, how did you come to know about this post? How did you come to know about this vacancy? I can't see any participants in the waiting room. Okay, now they are. They're not visible only. I'm not getting any message. Yeah, now they've joined. Let them join. So we have in this, what are we going to do? What is our introduction? How are we going to start the letter? It is where did I see the advertisement? Okay, right? So in response to, right, you're going to write down, you want me to give me a format of a proper, we should have one sample format, isn't it? So please note down. So in response to your advertisement in, give the newspaper, Times of India, Hindustan Times, Tribune, wherever you saw the advertisement, right? Then you can just write it over there. Yes, so just there you're connected to the audio now. Earlier you were not. I hope when you join the meeting, you're supposed to be connected with the audio. And so that you can at least hear what I am saying. So in response to your advertisement in such and such, on, right, the date, I would like to apply for which post? Okay, right? So you just write this. Now your covering letter is in a way a brief introduction about yourself. And as we know, you were in the class, you joined, I think so. You were the first to join today, but you were not connected with the audio, right? Yes. And let me continue now. Yeah, so what was it? Your covering letter is your introduction. It is your presentation, right? And it is a highly competitive world. So when we do go out to apply, when we are there seeking jobs which suit us or which interest us, we have to make ourselves very saleable, you know, like, yeah. So make sure that we get, you know, like that kind of correct presentation. So we should never be too casual when we are writing about ourselves, because naturally there is that decency, there is that decorum that you need to maintain. Okay. Now here we're just going to give a very brief introduction. And don't beg and bow and all that is there. You are applying because you are qualified for it. Yes. And you are telling about yourself because you think you're worthy of that post. But never ever, you know, like a kind of present that, oh my God, the world is going to come to an end if I don't get this job, right? That dignity you have to maintain. Of course, even in your interviews also, wherever you go, you know, you have to exhibit that self-confidence. You have to exhibit, yes, I am worthy of what I am seeking. And that is a very, very important aspect which we need to develop in our personality, right? So of course, confidence. Now here, yes, what is it? In response to your advertisement, I would like to apply for the post of such and such thing. Now you will just give a paragraph about yourself, talk about your highest qualification, right? And if any experience, mention that, right? Fine. So what do you think would be the qualification for a chief chef? So we're doing, those who joined me late, we are doing a job application for the post of a chief chef, and we are applying for this. Okay. So yeah, what do you think would be the qualification for that? Yes. For a chef, what would be the qualification? You're the chief chef, you'll be supervising other people, and yes, it would be a degree in hotel management. Yes, correct, Tanisha. What else? Yeah, so it is a degree in hotel management, and it is a chief chef. Naturally, that means it's quite a senior post. So you are expected to be what? Qualified also, isn't it? Right? So we can write down. So as I said, first is give your response where I saw this advertisement. Second would be about your highest qualification, right? So I have completed my degree in hotel management. I'm writing this down from Delhi University. and have, can you see the blackboard? Is it visible? Right, is it visible now? And have, say, 5 years experience. I'm writing short forms, you will write elaborate ones. 5 is experience as a chef in a reputed hotel. Okay, right? First is response to the advertisement. Second is talk about your highest qualification. Mention your experience, if any, right? Done this, noted this down. Then what are you going to say? Where did I keep the duster? Here it is. So as a chef in a reputed hotel, and then what comes next is that I have enclosed my biodata, right? And hope that I will be shortlisted as a suitable In some examples, you will read that I will work to the best of my ability. I'm very honest and hardworking and all that stuff, right? So that is not required. We'll just try that I've enclosed and hope that I'll be shortlisted as a suitable candidate or for an interview, whatever, right? Then you're going to write yours truly, give your name here. And one thing very, very important, what are you going to send along? So when you are sending an email and all, it's so very easy. Now you send your attachments. Isn't it additional information or additional, like you want to send those papers or material. So you have those attachments. Here we will call it enclosures. What are they? What are your enclosures going to be? Your enclosure, it is going to be your biodata, right? And maybe it could be your, the copies of your testimonials. That is your certificates, your degrees, right? Noted this down. Give me a yes or no. Have you noted it down? Have you noted it? Right? So part 1 of your job application. Yes, thank you, Manreet, as always. Right? So part 1 of your job application is the covering letter. What is the covering letter? It is a brief introduction about yourself. Okay? Right? Now the next part of the letter. The next part of the letter, noted this down. Done? Done, all of you? Yes. Now the next part is your biodata or your CV or your resume. Okay? Right? Now, second part. This is a not you can like you've written the last line, yours truly, etc. So the next line itself you can just start it. Okay, give the heading whatever you want to give, your biodata or your CV or your resume. Okay, right? So you want to talk about this. Now this is very, very important. It's a little lengthy, and that is why I was quite keen that we used to just finish this off here. Now, first is you will give your personal information. Okay. Now, what you see on the net and everything, when you look, you might search for job applications. So there in the covering letter itself, what has been added, that is the resume has been pasted over there only. But we do not write like this. So we are going to write as per the format which CBSE has told us. And for that, what is it? We write first the covering letter, then we write a biodata or CV or resume. Okay. So here you give your personal information. What all will come in your personal information? Isn't it? Your name, your father's name, your date of birth, contact, address. So sometimes in the advertisements you will come across, like yes, married or candidates can also apply. So then of course, then you can write down the marital status if they have specified it. Otherwise, it is not at all required. Clear? So here your name, father's name, date of birth, your contact, your address. Yeah. And yeah, you give your contact phone number. You can also talk about your email ID. Now, this is the personal information. Second comes your academic qualification. This is the most important part. Very, very important part. I'll put stars and stars and stars over here. Why? Because if we are not able to get our qualifications correct, our whole application is going to be wrong, right? So please here, now here, when I start with my academic qualifications, what is the post we have applied for? The post applied for is chief chef, right? And yes, as we said, we start, it is a degree in hotel management. Okay, so that is the highest degree we have written. So some people might say that I have, a management degree or things like that, right? Yes, so nowadays when we do talk about, like many job scenarios and many job profiles, management degree, most places it does help a lot. Okay, and having a higher qualification than you have your basic graduate and a postgraduate. Now, when I start my academic qualification, in your covering letter, we talk about the highest qualification. Now, when I do this here, right? I talk about my class or degree, right? Then you can talk about year, talk about percentage, right? It can be your board or university. Okay, right? So yeah, we can start with class 10th, 12th, yes. So your BSc, and then we can also talk about, say, a diploma in international cuisine, anything here, we can just do that here. Then do the year. And remember, please make sure we have to alter the date of birth accordingly. You're talking about 5 years experience, you've done your graduation and all. So make sure you will write your date of birth accordingly, right? So it will have to be like, say, maybe 1992, you will write down, isn't it? And then accordingly, when you did your class 10th, isn't it? Right? So you will mention it accordingly. So when you did your class 10th, say the year was 2006, this would be 2008, this would be 2011, right? 2012, okay? And yes, so we can talk about this here, you have experience and whatever, right? So we still have a 5-year gap, and also you can make the alterations accordingly, right? Then, or we can increase the experience years there. Give your percentage. Here we know this is your CBSE, right? This is also your CBSE. This is your Delhi University. This could be, you did it from an open university and all. So, right, okay. And of course, your percentage, you can mention whatever. So, right, say you got 85, 89, 62, and it could be, yeah, you got 64%, right? So yes, so this is your academic qualification. So I talk about my academic qualification. I'll be starting with class 10th, 12th, my degree, post-graduation till the highest degree. Okay, have you noted this down? Have you noted? Please do note down. This is very, very important. And I think so. I had thought I will start off with evens, tries, and O-level, but this will continue tomorrow also. Okay, right? Academic qualification. Note it down. Should I raise it? Yes? So, right, you can give your experience as an assistant. Is it, am I correct? Is the spelling correct? Is it assistant chef at, say, at Oberoi, Delhi? Right, so you can say, and 5 years or 3 years. Then, right, you can say again, it could be, yeah, you the chef at any hotel, you know, Victory International, Delhi, right? So 4 years, anything you want to talk about, okay? Okay, it's not visible, is it? Yes. So after your academic qualifications, you write about your work experience, right? So you'll talk about how many years you spent over there and about your job profile, what you did over there. Is this clear? Right? So what have we discussed today? When we write a job application, first of all, we write down our covering letter. What is the covering letter? It is your, you know, like introduction, right? It is a very brief introduction about yourself and yes, about your qualifications and your desire to seek this job. Next, after we have written that, in the format of a formal letter, we come to our second part. What is the second part? That is our job, or you can say it's the biodata or our curriculum vitae or resume. Okay, right? So it's not necessarily have to give all 3 headings, give one only. So if you remember biodata, write down biodata. If you write resume, write that also. Okay. So in the resume, what are we going to talk about? We'll be talking about our personal information. Leave that. Then you talk about the academic qualifications. You talk about your work experience, right? Because you have work experience, you will be talking about salary also, how much salary you received, right? Then give your achievements. Achievements can be right from your school days till your last job, right? So that is why we keep on saying, please do more than your academics. Participate in co-curricular activities, take part in, activities, make yourself seen and heard, because these are equally important, right? So your degree is there, definitely, naturally require it for a job, for seeking that position you want. But what is going to make you an all-rounder? right? Fine. So we'll be talking about achievements. We'll be talking about, yes, so like in some places here, language is known. It does make a lot of difference. And then references. Who are the people who are going to say that this person worked over here? There's a good character if they need to verify. Okay, right? So with this, we come to the end of the period. So see you all tomorrow, and I want you all to join on time.